Sandra.
What's up?
Hello. Look
Hey.
at this, please. Look at this real quick. And before we even get there, it says I am not the goddamn father. That's what that
What
shit
are you
says.
talking about?
Read that goddamn paper real quick, please. Because I'm going to lose my goddamn mind right now. Read that real fast.
Bro, is this a joke?
I'm not your goddamn bro. No, it's not a goddamn joke. I went and got our 2-year-old daughter tested, and she's not our child. Not my child. She's not. I don't know who child she is.
This can't be real, dude. You are the only man I have been
Do
with.
you know I put her on my goddamn life insurance?
She is your daughter, bro.
She is not our. Listen to me. I am not playing with you.
This is every man's worst nightmare realized. 2 years of his life, 2 years of love, 2 years of financial support, 2 years of believing he was a father, all based on a lie. This woman looked him in the eye for years and let him bond with a child that wasn't his while she collected his money and destroyed his soul. This isn't just betrayal, this is psychological torture. And the way she's screaming and denying even when confronted with scientific proof shows you the level of delusion these women operate under.
Part one of me talking about the $11.22 for my baby daddy and child support.
Ladies, make sure that when your child support hits, you go out and buy yourself something nice because you deserve it. I get $3,200 a month in child support, and I always make sure that I take care of myself first.
Paying $1 million up front in child support? My baby daddies could never.
He then said that he wanted the DNA test. You know that that's your kid. I will never give you a DNA test. That's not going to happen.
No?
Because I know, of course not.
But if he's asking for it,
I will not go it. I did my research. I will never ever give him a DNA test.
Listen to this confession. She's literally admitting she knows something he doesn't, and she's willing to destroy a man's life to keep that secret. This woman would rather let an innocent man pay for another man's child than tell the truth. She's basically saying, I know this kid isn't yours, but I'm going to let you believe it is because your money is more important than your mental health. This is female nature at its most parasitic, using deception as a weapon to extract resources from men who trusted them.
Because of those tax refunds, right? But at the end of the day, if you're dependent on a tax refund, maybe you should find a better career path, stuff like that. But as a mother of 4 children, my kids have 3 different dads. I saw Trump's new law, and I agree. If a man is willing to pay child support and they're willing and forced to pay medical support, by them claiming the kids on their taxes, it gives them a break too, okay? I know a lot of people are against this because I personally feel a lot of women look forward to tax season.
So my first child support payment is due tomorrow after 6 months of not getting any help from him and doing everything on my own. What should I spend the money on? Should I go shopping? Should I book a cruise? Should I get a tattoo? Should I get my lips done? Ooh.
The mask comes completely off here. Child support is supposed to be for the children, but these women are bragging about spending it on themselves. She's literally telling other women to use their kids as ATM machines to fund their lifestyle upgrades. This is the modern single mother playbook. Get pregnant, secure the bag, then spend that money on everything except the child it was intended for. They've turned motherhood into a business model where men are the investors and women are the CEOs with unlimited expense accounts.
Did you know that paternity tests are actually illegal in France? There are some exceptions when a judge grants it. It has to be ordered by a court, but you as a citizen cannot independently investigate the paternity of a child.
Holy shit, I never knew this was true, and I just looked it up and it is true. You're not allowed to do like a DNA test from a pharmacy or whatever it is, like things that we do here, unless you have a court order. And claims it's to protect families' privacy.
DNA tests are illegal in Israel?
So here's a fun fact for you. DNA tests are actually forbidden in Israel. Yes, I said the word forbidden. The only way you can get a DNA test done is through a court order, and they have to verify that you have valid reasons to want to know your DNA.
The international angle reveals the true depth of this conspiracy. Countries like France and Israel have banned private DNA testing, and this isn't some accident. This is deliberate social engineering designed to preserve the illusion of paternal certainty at all costs. Every man raising another man's child represents a massive cost savings to the state. Instead of that child becoming a welfare burden, Some unsuspecting beta male is footing the bill for 18 plus years. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars per case that taxpayers don't have to cover. But it goes deeper than economics. This is about maintaining social stability through enforced ignorance. These governments understand that if every man could easily verify paternity, the entire family structure would collapse overnight. Imagine if mandatory DNA testing revealed that 20 to 30% of children aren't biologically related to their supposed fathers. The psychological devastation would be catastrophic, divorce rates would skyrocket, and millions of children would lose their father figures in a single generation. So instead of fixing the underlying problem, female sexual behavior and accountability, they've chosen to institutionalize the lie. They've decided it's better to sacrifice male mental health and financial freedom than to confront the reality of female nature. They're literally legislating ignorance to protect a system built on deception. France's reasoning is particularly insidious. They claim it's to protect family privacy and preserve social peace. Translation: we know women are lying about paternity at epidemic rates, but we'd rather force men to live in ignorance than deal with the social chaos that would result from men knowing the truth. They've essentially admitted that their society is so dependent on paternity fraud that exposing it would cause systemic collapse. Israel's ban is even more telling because it comes from a country that's supposedly built on genetic and cultural continuity. Yet they're actively preventing men from verifying their own genetic lineage. This suggests that even in traditionalist societies, the government prioritizes social stability over male rights and biological reality. The fact that these laws specifically target private testing while allowing court-ordered tests reveals the true agenda. They don't want to eliminate DNA testing entirely, they want to control access to it. By requiring judicial approval, they ensure that only cases where the deception is already obvious get investigated. This protects the vast majority of paternity fraud while maintaining the illusion of fairness. Think about what this means for male psychology. These governments are telling men, we know you might be raising another man's child, we know this destroys men mentally and financially, but we've decided that protecting women's ability to deceive you is more important than your right to know the truth about your own life. This is state-sponsored psychological warfare against men disguised as family protection.
So here I am doing my research as I always do, searching through the executive orders that, Trump decided to sign off on last night. And then I ran across one that really hits me in the core. And it's the child support law. Now, honestly, I ain't been granted child support yet, but I am fighting for it. And the reason why is because we as single mothers know that.
So you telling me if my baby daddy pays me, let's just say $100 a week because hypothetically he's not making any money, right? You telling me he can claim all of my kids on his taxes? Is that what we're doing? Is that how it works?
I just want to know why all these men are so ecstatic over Donald Trump's tweet about the child support.
Child support. Did you guys see what Trump just tweeted? Apparently, from now on, any fathers that are currently on child support will get to claim their kid or children for tax season. It's no longer just the mom.
Fathers have to claim the children on their tax return, according to Trump. No, according to my baby dad. My baby dad, I told you guys in my last video that he does not claim my son because he's with me more than 50% of the time since he's been born. So no, he's not gonna claim him. But my baby dad has the audacity to tell me, Trump said that the fathers have to claim the child on the tax return. I was like, what? When?
What you just witnessed is the systematic destruction of fatherhood and family through legal extortion, paternity fraud, and state-sanctioned theft. This isn't just about individual bad actors. This is an entire system designed to transfer wealth from men to women using children as hostages. That first woman spent 2 years letting a man believe he was a father while she knew the truth. She watched him fall in love with a child that wasn't his. She let him plan for that child's future, sacrifice for that child's needs, and build his entire identity around being a father to someone else's kid. When he finally got the DNA test and discovered the truth, her response wasn't guilt or remorse, it was rage that her scam had been exposed. This is happening to millions of men every single day. Studies show that between 10 to 30% of men are unknowingly raising children that aren't theirs, but somehow paternity testing isn't mandatory at birth. Why? Because the system profits from male ignorance. Every man paying for a child that isn't his represents decades of wealth transfer that the state doesn't have to cover through welfare. The child support racket is even more diabolical. These women are openly bragging about spending child support money on themselves while positioning it as some kind of feminist empowerment. They're celebrating the fact that they can force men to fund their lifestyle choices through the threat of state violence. Miss $3,200 a month isn't using that money for her kid, she's using it for cruises and lip fillers while acting like she earned it. And when men try to protect themselves by demanding DNA tests, what happens? Women like the second one flat out refuse and the courts back them up. She said, "I will never give him a DNA test," while simultaneously collecting his money. Think about that level of evil. She knows something that could free this man from financial slavery, but she'd rather destroy his life than lose her paycheck. The international angle makes it even more sinister. Countries like France and Israel have banned private DNA testing specifically to protect women from being exposed for paternity fraud. They've literally made it illegal for men to verify if their own children are actually theirs. The government is actively protecting female deception at the expense of male mental health and financial security. This new tax law these women are panicking about tells you everything you need to know about their priorities. They're not upset about losing money for their children. They're upset about losing their personal shopping budget. When they say, women look forward to tax season, they're admitting that motherhood has become a tax scam where kids are just deductions that generate refund checks. The system has turned children into weapons against men and motherhood into a business model. Women get pregnant, secure child support, spend the money on themselves, refuse paternity testing, and then act like victims when men try to protect themselves. Meanwhile, the state collects their percentage and politicians get votes from single mothers who depend on this wealth transfer system. This is why marriage rates are collapsing and birth rates are plummeting. Men are finally waking up to the fact that modern relationships are rigged games where they can only lose. You can spend years loving a child that isn't yours, decades paying for kids you never see, and a lifetime being treated like a walking ATM by women who view you as nothing more than a resource to be extracted. The truth is that modern women have weaponized motherhood against men, and the government helps them do it. They've turned pregnancy into a lottery ticket, children into meal tickets, and fatherhood into financial slavery. Until paternity testing becomes mandatory and child support reform happens, this system will continue to destroy men while enriching women who contribute nothing but their ability to get pregnant and point to the father they choose.